this weakness. Well, that weakness that shows up on film, based on our personnel, may not be the same weakness. So you're not naive to who you are. And that's kind of where we try to focus ourselves in terms of what we want to be, and try to match it up, obviously, to give ourselves a chance to be competitive against obviously a good Washington team.
And I know that this game, the coaches always talk about the players, not the coaches, but there's some talk about you being nominated for maybe one of the Assistant Coaches of the Year awards. What does that mean to you on a personal level to be getting that kind of recognition and respect?
Well, one, I doubt I will be, but the guys are playing hard, and so if we can play hard one more game, we'll have a chance to be successful at the end of the day.
But when you look at how far you guys have come from week 1 to now, it's pretty remarkable. After that first week here, did you ever feel like, am I in over my head? Or what was that change like, going from how bad that was to how good things are now?
Well, no, I didn't. One, and then to analyze the season, that's a week from now we can have that conversation.
Alex, sorry this has already been asked, but could you speak to the challenge of going up against an offense and a coach who throws some trickery at you, and what you got to tell the guys?
Well, without question, and again, having that experience when they were at Boise, I was at Wyoming, and they most certainly earned whatever respect that they could have earned from me. They got it then, believe me. And then they do a good job of scheming it. They're going to find our weaknesses. Yeah. Like we're talking earlier in terms of us trying to exploit theirs. By no stretch of the imagination have we expecting them not to have us pegged. I mean, they're going to know what we are, and so ultimately we got to do a good job of combating that. But it's a good scheme, with the shifts, motions, trades. They're going to really stretch it from an eye standpoint, and then they obviously got good personnel to execute.
Will Gap's leverage check down rally, will that take care of those trick plays, or do you have to have that in the back of your mind?
Well, it does. I mean, and that's do you dumb it down to that? But in the end, that is what it comes down to. If you got appropriate eyes, that's going to defend the run, and it's also going to put you in a position to keep the ball in front of you. So the answer is yes. It's simple but not easy.
Coach, the last couple of weeks, Isaac Gotson's been able to get back in the game, back in reps. What's it meant to the secondary just to be able to have him back and out there making plays?
Well, we're always searching. We've talked about it going back to spring about trying to get the best 11 guys on the field, and he's one of those guys that earned a starting spot early in the year, and he did it for a reason. And he belongs out there with our guys. Has played well since being back, and we expect him to have a major role this week as well.
You're new to this state, but what does this rivalry mean to you so far?
Well, I think, again, you talk about a program that, over the years have a lot of respect for. I mean, they got a storied history, and I know it's one that the people in this community, at this university, certainly have hung their hat on for a long time in terms of the results of this game. So you feel a real responsibility to get these guys playing at a certain level to give ourselves a chance to win.
When you're climbing the ladder to get to this point, to being a coordinator, how do you know when that time is? I mean, when you're obviously putting your dues in position coaches and things like that. How did you know that was the time to
that's an interesting question. I mean, I think like anything, you're not born a coordinator. Just at some stage along the way, you're a graduate assistant. Then you're a restricted earnings coach, and then you're a full-time coach. You go from coaching the corners to the entire secondary. You go from the entire secondary at a 1AA level to the Mountain West Conference to the SEC. And in a lot of ways, it's a natural progression. But probably the biggest thing along the way is, you don't coach in a bubble. You're always aware of how, whatever position that you coach, how it affects, the entire scheme. And so as you think about scheme, again, you're not just how it affects the safeties, how it affects my position. And you start analyzing things, you get a feel for the run game and the pass game, and overall how you can structure a defense to be successful.
How did you guys lose?
You're going way back. That was an overtime game. We dropped the ball in the end zone. We shouldn't have.
Do you remember who you'd have played if you'd beat them?
We would have picked Pack Blues, right?
Yeah. Well, that's how it's coming.
Yeah,
that's how I'm watching.
Yeah, no question.
I mean, everybody. People that know Mount Union. I mean, you're in Ohio. Either go to Ohio State or go to Mount Union.
Yeah.
How much of your influence is the old man?
Well, I think all of us that went there, we minimum got our undergrad degree in coaching, from Coach Karras, Coach Montgomery, defense coordinator, Coach Woj was a secondary coach, and just a great staff that has won at a very, very high level. And certainly, I was fortunate to be part of it. I had no part in, I guess, building it, and certainly they've been doing very well since I departed as well. But there's a string of us out there. There's a lot of mountain guys across the country. Matt Campbell at Toledo, Jason Campbell's the offensive coordinator there, and then several others I could mention. And I think we all kind of draw from those playing days in terms of being very, very well coached.
Thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
Thanks.